everyone, and welcome back to Wellness Wednesday. My name is Dr. Linzi, and I'm a naturopathic doctor right here in Iron River, and I specialize in helping people restore their health and revitalize their life. Always our little disclaimer, anything we discuss is for the purpose of general health support, not intended to treat or cure disease. We're just talking about overall physiology, optimizing our health. Always be sure to consult with your own primary care doc before making any changes. And last week, like we were talking a little bit before the show here, that we were talking about heading into the new year without any fancy or big resolutions and really leaning into the energy of seasons and how we're moving from 2025, the season or the year of the snake, which has the season of shedding, and heading into 2026, the year of the horse, which is the season of momentum and forward progress. And what's interesting when you look at Eastern medicine, and this kind of goes with what we were saying, Jim, that it actually, the year of the horse doesn't start until like February 17th or February 18th or something like that. So that naturally is allowing for a bit of that transition time. So we don't have to rush and hurry into 2026 and into the new year and feel like, oh my gosh, it all has to happen. We can take our time with that transition, which I think is wonderful. So if you've been not feeling the resolutions this year and kind of want a different approach into heading into the new year or how you want to look at things, I would definitely take a listen to last week and check that out. You can check that out on my YouTube channel, Dr. Linzi, and take a listen there. And I think that will be helpful. And then today I wanted to talk about something very simple and actually a bit old school, but surprisingly powerful, especially for people who feel stressed, overwhelmed, inflamed, hormonally off, or just plain worn down, especially after getting through this busy season of the holidays. And this is, so what I want to talk about is slowing down the nervous system so that the body actually has the opportunity to heal. Because the truth is you can take all the supplements in the world, but if your body is stuck in that hurry and worry, healing becomes much harder, right? And so this is a nervous system problem that we often don't talk enough about. So many people are living in a constant state of sympathetic dominance or overdrive, that fight or flight, which we do need a little bit of, because it comes from the example of if there's a bear and you need to run, your body shifts into that sympathetic drive and it's like gets in this stress state so you can run successfully from the bear. But the problem is that when we are in that state too much, it of course makes it hard because that's not a time for the body to heal. When you're running from the bear, you don't want your body focusing on your digestion or gearing up to rest. You want to get going. And so, but if we're in this state all the time and too much, I know what you're thinking, Jim. It's time for that. Where am I purposely headed to the bathroom when you're trying to run from that bear? But, this can look like rushing, overthinking, anxiety, shallow breathing, poor sleep, digestive issues, inflammation when we're in that state too much. But there's another stress response that often doesn't get talked about nearly at all. And this is the freeze state. So freeze isn't necessarily the high energy anxiety that happens with the fight or flight. The freeze is more like feeling stuck, exhausted but wired, unmotivated or numb, disconnected from your body, kind of knowing what you should do but feeling unable to do it. And that freeze happens when the nervous system has been under stress for so long and far too long that it's basically saying, I can't even fight or run anymore. I'm just going to freeze. And as you can imagine, that's not very helpful for us, right? So instead of it revving higher, the system actually starts to shut down. And in freeze, digestion slows even more, detox pathways stall, your hormones flatten, inflammation can linger and carry on, your joy and motivation disappear. And many people can think in this state that they're either just lazy or they're depressed, when in reality, it's literally their nervous system is so overloaded and stuck that it's shutting down. So I know that sounds a little bit discouraging, but as always, usually when I present a problem, we usually talk about a solution, right? But I want you to understand why healing can't really happen in this fight or flight or freeze state. So healing is what happens in that parasympathetic nervous system state. Like I mentioned, the rest, digest, rejuvenate, repair, not in panic, not in pressure, not in shutdown. So whether someone is stuck in that fight or flight, that anxious, rushed, or wired, or the freeze, the numb, exhausted, disconnected, the body still isn't in a state where it feels safe enough to heal. So the goal isn't to push harder. If you've been feeling this way, it's not to come in barreling into 2026 of how can I do better? How can I do more? What more resolutions do I need to have? It's to gently bring your system back online and provide literally a safer place for your body to heal. So this is where I enter the solution, you guys. And I know this has kind of been a fad on social media and things, and influencers talking about it, but I want you to know that it's been used in naturopathic medicine for decades and decades and decades. So even though it's now kind of the cool trendy thing, naturopaths were doing it way before it was cool. And this is castor oil packs, okay? So this is where castor oil packs come into play. Now I know you may have heard of castor oil like somebody drinking it to help induce labor or something like that, but there's far more benefits, and I want to explain this to you guys because it's something really simple, not very expensive, and something you can do to start helping you right away in the new year. So, as I had mentioned, castor oil packs have been used in naturopathic medicine for generations because not only do they help with lymphatic and circulation and digestion and inflammation, they also help signal the nervous system to calm down. And so when we're looking at castor oil, and this is not consuming it internally, this is doing a pack, which I will explain to you. It's going to improve the circulation and the lymphatic flow. It's going to support the liver and digestion. It's going to reduce inflammation. And just as importantly, invite the body out of fight or flight or freeze and back into rest. So many people don't even realize that they're in a freeze state until they lie down with a castor oil pack and they feel the warmth, they feel the softening, they feel the deep breathing, they feel that sense of grounding, and then that's when the parasympathetic nervous system is turning on. And so who this is especially helpful for, the castor oil packs, and how I often use it in at Upper Peninsula Natural Wellness is I often use it for people in chronic stress or burnout. Hello, most of us. Anxiety or that emotional numbness, hormonal imbalance or PMS, sluggish digestion or constipation, liver congestion or headaches, and those feeling stuck, inflamed, or disconnected. And so oftentimes if people are like, man, I've been doing all the right things, but I'm still not feeling better, I often like to apply something physical we can do to the body, because yes, there are great supplements, and yes, nutrition and hydration and all those things we talk about are key, but sometimes we need something physical to our body to help communicate with it, like, okay, this is what needs to happen. So this is how simple it is, you guys. You don't need anything fancy. You need, and I have all this at the office. If you're local, you can come in and get it. If you aren't local, I can ship it to you, no problem. Not at all. So all you need is organic, cold press, hexane-free castor oil in glass. Okay, there was quite a few descriptors there. In other words, don't just go to Amazon and buy some cheap castor oil, please, because it can be, if not processed properly and not the good quality, it can be toxic. So we need the best. When we're dealing with stuff like this, it needs to be in a glass container because it's very drawing, so it can draw out all the nasties in the plastic. So it needs to be in glass, needs to be hexane free, needs to be organic, and it needs to be cold pressed, okay? And that's what I have at the office, so you're all set there. You just know I always have the good stuff, okay? And then you need a cotton or wool cloth. I have these super nice packs already done at the office. You can always use an old shirt and or things, but you want to use good quality fabric because, again, that castor oil is very drawing, so it can draw out all the impurities in fabric, and we won't go down that rabbit hole, but fabrics are pretty nasty today with what they put in fabric. So you want it to be some nice organic cotton, and I have these very nice packs that tie. I have ones for the thyroid, for the liver, for the whole abdomen, and even one for the breast tissue, because if you're one with fibrocystic breasts or there's lymph congestion or you get breast pain, you can put the castor oil right over the breast tissue, and it supports that drainage and that movement. I personally like to do mine right over my liver or over my whole abdomen. I even have them now in glass roll-ons to make it easier and less messy, because normally you would just take your cotton pack and you would take a couple of tablespoons and pour it right on the cotton pack, and then tie it around wherever the area is that you want to create movement and flow. And so I like the roll-on because I don't have to pour anything. I can just roll it everywhere, and then I put my pack on. And then you can do it for like an hour or so, but I like to do it before bed. So I just go to sleep with it so it can do its work. So then you don't have to apply heat, but when you do, it's very calming and soothing, which is what we're trying to do with engaging the nervous system. So you go ahead and you get that pack already. And then even if you have some of your favorite essential oils, like I love to put frankincense, because I mean, if they were given Jesus, baby Jesus frankincense, I mean, it's the good stuff. I want to put some of that on me. So I'll put the frankincense over my liver and abdomen, depending on what's going on, and have that on, wrap it, and then apply gentle heat, and go to sleep. And oh my gosh, do I sleep like a baby? Do I feel so calm? And that whole act of doing that is you're caring for yourself. You are engaging in self-care, and that in and of itself can be healing and can start to calm your nervous system. And then as you lay down and you take some deep breaths, you put the heating pad on, there's no phone, there's no multitasking. You're just getting your body to a calm, peaceful, safe place, and you are engaging that parasympathetic nervous system, and you are starting your healing. And you can do that, every night. A lot of times when I'm doing either a detox or I'm just really focusing on my health, I will do it, nightly. And it can just be so, so helpful. And if you look on my Facebook page recently, I shared something, and I've been kind of sitting with this with heading into the new year, right? I had said, hurry, on my post, hurry kills presence, worry kills peace, and freeze kills momentum and joy. And then I asked people to read it now the other direction. Momentum and joy kills the freeze, peace kills worry, presence kills hurry. Do you see that? Do you see what I did there, Jim?
They call it, what is it? They call it something.
Oh, there's an English term for it. Oh, no, shoot.
Sorry.
Mrs. Momquist, where is she? She would be very disappointed in me.
It's not an antidote, but it's...
There's a term for it, yes. But so if we can be present, have more presence, we can kill that hurry. If we can have our peace, we can kill that worry. If we can focus on momentum and joy, we can get out of that freeze state, right? And so castor oil packs are a simple way to tell your body, hey, you're safe. You don't need to brace yourself anymore. And when the body feels safe, that healing can follow. And so if you're feeling that rushed or that worried or that shut down, this is something that you can gently start doing tonight. Or if you don't have any of the tools, we open Thursday, 8 to 4:30, swing by the office. It's all stocked. You can get your castor oil. I truly feel like everyone should just have that in their medicine cabinet. Their castor oil, their pack, so that if you have any bloating, GI discomfort, any headaches, you can just go do a castor oil pack. It's cheap, it's helpful, it's gentle, it's encouraging, it's not forcing the body to do anything, it's gently helping it. And so, and also, as always, if you guys need help figuring out whether you're in fight or flight or freeze or how to support your nervous system more intentionally, you guys are always welcome to reach out to me at Upper Peninsula Natural Wellness. And sometimes healing doesn't come from doing more. So often we feel we have to do more. Sometimes it comes from allowing our body to literally just soften and re-engage and come back online. And so I think that that's just really, really important. Does that make sense, Jim?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of people out there who presented with an issue.
Yeah.
Literally, the old saying, sleep on it.
Yeah.
You come up with the answer.
Yes.
It might be a 15-minute nap, could be 2 hours, but it's amazing how the problem will rectify itself during that sleep.
Yes.
It's like the answer comes to you.
Your body has a way of working itself out. And then if you slap a little castor oil pack on there while you're doing your little nap or figuring it out, it'll help you even more. And such a better option too for people who struggle with constipation than taking that awesome stuff, or not awesome, awful stuff. What is it? The Miralax, that's pretty much just propylene, PEG,
Plastic.
And just horrible for you. Yeah, that'll make anybody go, okay? Because it's poison and it's trying to get out of your system.
I want to make, there's probably a couple of people out there, they might have an older, mono radio speaker, or maybe. I just want to make sure everybody knows we are talking about castor oil. That's CASTOR. We are not talking about castrol oil.
Yes.
Big difference here, folks. One is a motor oil for engines. Another one is an oil for your body. All right.
Yes.
So know the difference. All right.
Yes.
Going up to Dr. Linzi's office is probably the best thing.
Best bet. Yes. Let's just come up to me and get the good stuff, and you'll know you're doing it right.